Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to my channel. My name is Jackie and I am forever faithful. Sorry about the background noise. It's the heater going. Anyway, hope you all are doing well today. I just really wanted to stop by and share something with you. I guess you can say it's a testimony. As I mentioned before that I have some control issues of letting go and releasing things that are out of my control. So, been having some car issues, and I was, getting quotes, and the quotes were just hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And I'm like, that's a lot. And I honestly didn't want to spend that. So, anyway, my neighbor knew someone and called this person. It's a mobile mechanic. And I was like, well, this is pretty good. Got a quote from that person. And I was like, oh, okay. Sounds good. And so I was like, okay, yeah, let's do this. So even though I was still, hesitant, or let me just say, I didn't want to spend the money still. I still didn't want to spend hundreds of dollars. And then I was like, I have to switch this. Because last night I was like, okay, I had paid him already half. Didn't get it done yesterday. And said, okay, this morning. Okay, cool. And I'm thinking, Holy Spirit, do not let this person run off with my freaking money. And my car still needs to be repaired, right? So I could worried and, fretted about that, but I didn't. I decided to let it go, let, the Holy Spirit take care of it. So I was like, okay, cool. So anyway, the guy gets here, start repairing the car. We having a great conversation. Actually, we're actually more alike mentally in the way we think and stuff like that. So it was a great conversation that we had. But when it was all said and done, I ended up saving $100 and $150 compared to all the other quotes, even other mobile mechanics, even other shops. I ended up being saved $150. So I'm like, oh, this is such a blessing. Thank you. Okay. And so I was like, all right, well, it's time for me to get my insurance off of suspension and get it back active. Okay. So I called, and I'm happy to have my car repaired. I'm happy to, save some money on the repairs. But now I'm still going to have to spend money, to get the insurance to get, right? Okay, cool. But what I realized in the midst of me being grateful and complaining at the same time was that the Holy Spirit was in all of this. I called my insurance company. I was expecting to pay money. I had it to pay. I just didn't want to pay. And then I called. It was like, oh, you paid in full. Since when? Like, what? Okay, you're activating my insurance again, and I don't have to pay you any money because it's paid in full. Oh yeah, your policy will be it will be time to renew your policy again in March. So we'll start fresh then. What? It said paid in full. I went online and I checked. It said paid in full, and that I have active insurance. So I'm sharing this because for weeks, I would say even 2-3 months now, that I have been stressed, concerned, worried about how I was going to get my car repaired. And I was trying my best not to spend a lot of money. But when I finally said, whatever, at this point, I don't even care anymore. If it gets repaired, if it doesn't, I just don't want to deal with it. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to stress about it. I'm whatever. And when I had that moment 2 nights ago, I was, I was at peace with it. You know, I'm like, if the property manager decides to tow it, okay. You know what I mean? I was just like, whatever. I just didn't want to deal with it. So here I am thinking of having a brand new car, you know, and what car and all that, right? So I'm like, if I don't get that fixed, let me just put myself in a better mood and look at a couple of cars that I'm really interested in, right? So I did that. And you know, right during that time, I received a call from my neighbor who actually introduced me to the mobile mechanic. And mind you, I had been waiting for this number for weeks. He couldn't remember the number. He couldn't find it in his phone, whatever. I've been waiting for this number for weeks. But as soon as I said, screw it, I don't care, and I start looking for another car, I get the call, gave me the number to the mobile mechanic. I called the mechanic the next morning. We set things up for him to come out today. And things worked out. But it only worked out when I gave up. When I threw my hands up, when I was like, I can't deal with this anymore. I don't want to be stressed about this. I don't even want to think about it. I don't like the way it makes me feel when I'm thinking about this. So I'm going to let it go. And it's like, as soon as I let it go, then things start to flow beautifully. I mean, truly beautifully. I wasn't expecting it. And even when I decided, okay, got the car fixed, let me go ahead and call the insurance company and, you know, have my policy active again. I had to stop myself from complaining about giving them the money and say, well, you know, I'm thankful and grateful that I actually have the money to pay, right? Because things could be totally different if I didn't have the money and still needed the insurance. But I had. So it's like, okay, once I found peace in releasing this money, that's when I called and they said, oh, you already paid in full. Yeah, exactly. So I just wanted to share this because, like so many of us are trying to control things and resolve things on our own, in our ways, in our own standing, with our own thoughts. And it's not the way. You're going to have to release it, whatever it is, or whoever it is. You're going to have to release it. And it's like, it was like everything that happened just seemed almost instantaneously, right? It happened so quickly. As soon as I just like, you can have it. I don't want it anymore. Holy Spirit, you can take it. I don't want it. You can have it. You can have it. So just be encouraged. If you're anything like me, I'm so used to being in control of my life, what goes on in and out of my life, and being able to control certain things. Well, that's what I've been able to do in the past. But now this is like a new season. And the things I used to do just don't work anymore. So the best thing for me to do, I think for all of us to do, is just to let it go so things can flow. Because what I'm noticing is that things are actually manifesting a whole lot quicker than they used to. Who knew that my insurance was already paid in full? But guess what? The Holy Spirit knew. That's why I was like, quit complaining. Quit being resistant to releasing the money for something that I need. And be grateful that I have it to release. That was a word for me. Maybe it's a word for you too. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Just be encouraged and find a place of peace and balance, and release anything that is weighing you down mentally and emotionally, because it is draining a lot more than you realize. And oftentimes you don't even realize how heavy that burden really was until you let it go. And then things start to flow. Anyway, that's all. Hope you all have a great day. Until next time, bye.